At the same time, an old man suddenly visited the 9 deaths and 1 life realm. This person is named Jade-Face Venerable Wenbayu. At the peak of the King realm, he thought he was invincible, and the ferocious beasts here treated him with utmost respect. Now that his life is coming to an end, he is preparing to find a geomantic treasure land to bury himself. How could he know who the real owner of this place would be? Suddenly, there was a loud noise in the sky, and Qinshan appeared in a shining manner. Upon seeing this, Wenbayu, of the King realm, couldn't help but kneel down on the ground. Qinshan questioned him, "How dare you trespass into my 9 deaths and 1 life realm? Are you going to take matters into your own hands, or shall I do it?" Unexpectedly, Wenbayu suddenly straightened his back and said, "I, Jade-Face Venerable, am renowned throughout the world. You might have some misunderstandings about me." But the next second, he knelt down on the ground again. At a glance, he had seen Qinshan's true strength. Qinshan thought to himself, since the system prompts that the next task is related to this person, I'll ask if there are any task clues. He then asked, "Have you seen any declining sect forces or descendants of the Qin family?" Jade-Face Venerable frankly stated that 10 years ago, he had mentored 2 outstanding youths surnamed Chen on the Hongmeng continent's east side. One of them had exceptional talent and progressed rapidly, while the other was a complete waste, despite having the innate Thunderlight body. Although he had imparted his knowledge to the latter, it was of no use. Jade-Face Venerable continued, "During my thousands of years in this world, I've found that females surnamed Chen are usually talented, while males surnamed Chen are mostly trash." Hearing this, Qinshan looked embarrassed and said, "My surname is Chen." He then controlled a colorful fist and was about to strike Jade-Face Venerable, but suddenly pulled out a pear from his palm. "Since you mentored my later generations, let me offer you a pear." Jade-Face Venerable, a renowned figure, had never suffered such humiliation. However, he had to swallow his pride in front of this powerful person. Suddenly, Wenbayu's old face turned red. "This taste is not a pear, but a millennium-old holy medicine that I have been seeking for ages, the golden snake-coiled fruit. Just one can replenish 1,000 years of life." He had searched for 1,000 years but had never found one. "I just imparted some knowledge to your later generations. You don't have to thank me at such a great cost." But while saying so, he is honestly and desperately gnawing on the food. Even though he feel embarrassed, Qinshan pointed to the basket of radishes beside him. "I have a lot of useless things. If no one eats them, they will rot." Wenbayu widened her eyes in surprise and then hugged Qinshan's thigh tightly, regardless of his image. "I'll be your underling. Even if I were your son, I would be willing to use my entire life to support you." Qinshan was speechless. "If the system didn't forbid me from taking direct action, I wouldn't have taken an old man like you as my subordinate. However, now is the time when he needs someone to run errands." Meanwhile, on the other side, Qinshan's descendant, Qin Daurang, looked puzzled. As the head of the Qin family, he prayed for Patriarch to help his family while looking at the Shin token left to him by Patriarch. If only Patriarch were still here. Suddenly, there was a thunder in the sky, and the token instantly emitted a dazzling white light. Qinshan Patriarch is going to take action again. 100,000 years have passed. In the easternmost part of the Hongmeng continent, the Qin family, which had fallen on hard times, was no longer prosperous. Qin Daurang, the head of the family, was also constantly ostracized by the academy. Others could obtain high-quality resources, but he could only eat the worst food every day. Unfortunately, the academy distributed resources based on merit. Although Qin Daurang had the envy of many people with his innate thunder body, his meridians were narrow, and he could not absorb the spiritual energy. As a result, he became a waste in everyone's eyes, and his cultivation ranked at the bottom of the academy. That day, Qin Daurang only received a few pieces of the worst fruit. The sister who ranked first in the academy's ranking took out her own Nimbus chicken leg to give to Qin Daurang, but he was mocked by everyone for taking advantage of his sister. Yi Yuma, the second-ranked student in the White Deer Academy, even ridiculed him. "You waste. Return the spiritual food to Kair. Look at you, you are so cowardly. Even your siblings have received guidance from Senior One. Your younger sister ranked first in the academy, while elder brother ranked last. It's better to submit to the academy like my family, so that you can get good practice resources, instead of being cheated like your sister who only gets a small chicken leg despite being ranked first." Sister Kair couldn't bear it anymore and was about to draw her sword. "Yi Yuma, shut up. My brother was doing it for their family." At this moment, Qin Daurang stepped in and stopped his younger sister, saying, "Don't resort to violence. We are a large family and we should use a gentleman's way to resolve disputes." This caused everyone to burst into laughter. "You must still be dreaming. Do you think your Qin family existed 100,000 years ago? You can insult me, but don't blame me for being impolite if you insult my family." Yi Yuma laughed and looked up. Chen family pig, what do you want to do to be impolite? And Chen Daurang stopped him by stuffing a pear into his mouth. The smell suddenly became unbearable as the stench filled the air. Although this thing has some spiritual power, its smell really is like feces. While Yuma was vomiting, Chen Daurang quickly took his resources and ran away, leaving the courtyard to count his loot and plan to give them to his sister. She will definitely be able to make significant progress in her cultivation again. Looking at the statue in front of him, Chen Daurang thought of the founder of the academy, one who had created the academy with the aim of providing a fair opportunity for everyone to practice and benefit the people. However, after only 10 years, the academy was monopolized by the new principal. To obtain practice resources, one must sign an agreement with the academy and become a member, which Chen Daurang refused to do as it would mean the end of his family. This had led to his family being targeted and being called useless. Unfortunately, it was a waste of his sister's talent. He looked at the Shin character command passed down from the Patriarch in his hand. If the Patriarch were still here, they could have dominated the academy and led the Chen family to the world. At this moment, the impoverished Chen family suddenly received an unexpected visitor who turned out to be the current dean of White Deer Academy, by Daurang. This is an agreement signed voluntarily by your sister, Chen Kaier. 10 days later, if she wins the enrollment competition, she will be a member of the academy from then on. After that, your Chen family won't have to submit to the academy but can still enjoy its abundant resources. Sacrificing one woman for the hope of the whole clan, isn't that a good deal? However, the dean had his own schemes. He wanted to use Chen Kaier's identity as a descendant of Wen and expand his influence through her, then profit from it. Chen Daurang walked up to his sister with a gloomy face, feeling ridiculous at how he had wasted her talent all these years to preserve the so-called dignity of their family. It's my fault for not bowing my head for the sake of our family's so-called dignity and wasting your great talent. I'm sorry, little sister, he said. He then went to the sculpture of Wenbaiyu and placed offerings in front of it, devoutly saying to the command token left by the Patriarch, "You said that the family can ask for your help in times of crisis. Now that our family is in decline, and we're about to lose even my sister, can you lend us a hand?" Suddenly, the Patriarch's command token glowed blue, followed by a thunderbolt that directly hit Chen Daurang. "You irresponsible Patriarch, you said to come to you in times of crisis, but now you're using thunder to strike me. Watch me eat up your offerings and use my urine to wake you up." Meanwhile, Wenbaiyu received instructions from Chen Xian and happened to teleport there. "It's raining," he muttered, though he was actually furious. But after all, he was a descendant of Chen Xian. Wen was too scared to do anything. Then, he flung Chen Daurang away with one hand. Immediately, they flew for a day and a night to reach the hall of Chen Xian. "Your Patriarch is inside. Come with me," he said. Chen Daurang was shocked and delighted. "My Patriarch made it after all, and he's even working under one." Excitedly, he walked into the depths of the palace. But the next second, he was stunned by what he saw. Wasn't that beggar sleeping in the garbage heap the Chen family's Patriarch? Was he really reduced to guarding the door for one? He looked so lowly and disappointing. Suddenly, a strange noise came from behind the Patriarch's heap of garbage, and a large bird appeared. Chen Daurang was instantly scared out of his wits. "Oh no, how could my Patriarch be sleeping next to this demon beast?" He recognized it as the powerful purple dark Ming sparrow. He quickly begged Wen to save his Patriarch, but the next second, Wen fell to his knees. What's going on? Was Wen also scared by the bird? Then, the purple dark Ming sparrow spoke up. "Little one brought your junior here. Get up, master." This scene made Chen Daurang question his entire life. Why were both Wen and the bird calling his Patriarch master? Seeing their respectful behavior, Chen Daurang finally believed that his Patriarch was indeed their master. How could this be possible? Was he dreaming? At that moment, Luo Qinshan flew over holding a calf. She immediately washed the Patriarch's face with a slime, thanking him for giving the Battle Garb Emperor's scripture and the help of Black. Now the sect is on the rise again. The Patriarch ordered little Luo to cook. This scene stunned Chen Daurang even more. His Patriarch was actually giving her such valuable things. It seemed the Patriarch's generosity knew no bounds. As a direct relative, he couldn't help but think that it was a heaven-sent opportunity. With this in mind, Chen Daurang quickly gave a respectful bow to the Patriarch. He thought that as long as the Patriarch sent him some imperial-level demonic beasts or something, the problem would be solved. But his thoughts were instantly seen through by Chen Xian. He had managed the family so poorly, yet still wanted rewards. He should be punished first. Chen Xian waved his hand lightly, and with that one strike, Chen Daurang's cultivation and battle garb were instantly destroyed. He was already a useless person, and now he had truly become a waste. Chen Daurang held his chest in pain and did not understand why the Patriarch would do this. The Patriarch bluntly said, "I only destroyed your battle garb and cultivation, but my battle garb and cultivation were already at the waste level. If they are destroyed, What's the difference between me and a pile of mud? The Patriarch said the punishment was not over yet. I have been reading books on alchemy recently. You will stay here and become my cauldron boy. You will need to burn the fire for me for about 10 days to half a month. Don't even think about leaving. Upon hearing this, Daurang panicked. My younger sister has a martial arts contest in 10 days. I must return immediately. But the Patriarch suddenly became fierce. You have no right to refuse. From now on, you must obey me. Either burn the furnace well, and I'll let you go back, or you'll have only one dead end. Helpless, Daurang had to bite the bullet and kneel down to thank him. He's my own Patriarch. Why is he so cruel to his own family members? I didn't even gain any benefits. Now, I feel like I'm going to die.